everybody who's here. We are streaming over on Dronetek's channel with the panel for tonight to talk about the coronavirus and other things in the news. Would love it if everybody can head over to Dronetek's channel. We're streaming over at Dronetek. Sweet. You're over there at Dronetek's, Modus? Good. That's loud as balls. That's loud. We're over at Dronetek's right now, guys. Anybody who's watching me here, please go over to Dronetek Politics. We are going live in just a couple seconds over there with the panel. I'm going to stream on this side and push people over there. We're over at Dronetek Politics. It's going to be a good show tonight, too. You guys need to check it out. Dronetek Politics.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Fellow vault dwellers, all of us. Tonight, it looks a little bit different. If you guys usually watch us, it looks a little bit different than usual. We are broadcasting from a heavily fortified bunker. It's getting crazy out there, folks. You know, it's not just empty grocery shelves. We got people fighting over TP for some reason. And we have a media that seems more interested in fear-mongering and undermining Trump than it does the welfare of the country. So, and despite all that, his poll numbers do seem to be rising. So that's good, at least in relation to his handling of the coronavirus. And I think we're going to get a little disagreement on that in our panel tonight, so which is welcome. I'm always welcoming a little discourse. But needless to say, we do have a lot to talk about. We're going to get into these topics here in just a minute. And we do have a call-in number. If you all want to call in, we're going to do a little bit of that tonight. I do not have the number here in front of me. Hopefully we can get that in the chat.
It's up on the panel.
Just look for that in the chat.
It's up on the screen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, call that number. Call in. We'd love to hear from you guys.
But call in a little later.
Tonight, the reason it looks so...
Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Never mind. Sorry, I'm shutting up.
Call in a little later? Okay. But yeah, we want you guys to call in. The reason it looks a little bit different is because the show is being produced tonight by the producer of American Joe's show, Dustin, and we're very lucky to have him here with us tonight.
Not the Cody show.
And not American Joe?
No, Douglas Ducote.
Oh, Douglas Ducote. Sorry about that, man. I apologize.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. People confuse them.
Yeah,
they're both large and hairy.
Yeah, they are very burly men. So yeah, and also we have two of the best up and coming YouTubers out there right now, Robert Noir and SJG Perspective. They're with us every Saturday here, and if you want to support their channels or any of these channels, we'll have all the links in the description for you guys. But let's go ahead and kick this off. Did you have memes that you wanted to show?
You know what? I knew I was gonna. You were just gonna bring that up. I didn't have time. I didn't prepare any memes, so we'll just kind of go with a different. Right. I don't think we'll have time. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just get started here, because I think what everybody's kind of going through right now is this seemingly monumental event is going on. We're all being told, to stay in our homes, which is, unprecedented. None of us have ever had to do that before. Everything's getting shut down. Las Vegas is shutting down sports, everything. And while all this is going on, we have the media, which is really ramping up the fear at the same time, clearly politicizing it. And so, a lot of people are left wondering, is any of this real? Should I take this seriously? And I think we have probably some opinions on all sides here tonight. Who wants to get us started? SJG? What do you think, man? I mean, I guess my question is, one, should we take this seriously? I mean, should we really, truly take this seriously? And if we do that, what does that mean as far as, our rights and the powers that the government is going to take from that? Because if we're so willing to just, save us, do whatever you got to do, what's the danger of that? And will America, as we know it, can it survive all of this?
So that I don't know. I don't know how my gut, and I don't like to be the fearmonger guy, and But everything I've been telling my family, I used to be a conspirator. Used to be, I kind of still am. But back in the day was like, man, we're going to have martial law. We're going to have the markets are going to crash. We're going to, the debt-based system, monetary system is going to be wiped out. And then 2012 or 11, 12, 13 came. It didn't happen. I just kind of moved away from that and just always held it in the back of my head. But we are definitely need to take this scenario seriously with everything that is happening. Absolutely. When the virus first came out, I was one that was like, it's no worse than the flu. This is ridiculous. I thought it was more of just a concerted effort just to unseat Trump, right? And I thought it would just kind of blow over after a little bit and maybe it would go for a little while. But, I saw the potential there. But the more I hear about the virus, the more I think, no, I think it's legit. I know some people over here don't necessarily think it's a bioweapon. I definitely think it was a bioweapon. I think it could have been, it escaped, and we can get into that later. Maybe it escaped early, maybe it wasn't, or it's designed to be this less lethal kind of a thing. But so I definitely think right now we don't know enough, truly know enough, because we see what's happening in Italy and we see what's happening on these other spots. But really, we don't fully understand. None of us really know a lot of people that have gone through it personally yet, so we don't really know the ramifications. I think they very well could be very bad. I do think it'll be worse than the flu bug. I definitely think that has a potential to, and where we're at now with it to where it is, overwhelming our hospital systems. We're just like, I can't even I don't want to let my kid play on the quad in the background, because if she has to go to the hospital, she won't be able to get seen by anybody. And if she does go and get seen, she's going to be in the worst place possible to possibly catch it. So yes, I think the virus is bad. How bad? I don't know. None of us really truly know yet. But what is happening is scary as hell, because it is we're on a slip and slide. It isn't a slippery slope anymore. We are at the top of the wet and wild park going down a grease slide. And the things that are going to be rolled out and that are being rolled out is insane to me. There's no way I believe we come rocketing back after a couple months from this. You can't crash the whole everything and pull the whole economy to a screeching halt and then think, oh, we're just going to in a couple months be back to normal. No, I mean, it has quite the potential to devolve into utter and total and complete anarchy is my fear. And that's kind of where I'm at a little bit on this.
Yeah. In Washington, a lot of people are taking pictures of the businesses now. They're boarding them up. So it's like, What are they expecting to be coming down the road here soon? Right. What do you think, Robert?
And pull the whole...
So I don't disagree with almost anything that SJG said there. For me, I don't know what the virus will do. I have no clue. It could kill 0 more people. It could kill 3 million more people. I don't know. That's what I've said from the get-go. Is it an intentional bioweapon? Was it a bioweapon that was accidentally leaked? I don't know. I know this from history, through my viewing, through what I do on my channel. The government exploits crises to take your rights away from you. There are globalists that are in our government right now that want to see the destruction of the middle class. They want to see the destruction of borders. And they'll use this just like they'll use any crisis. It doesn't matter if they intentionally leaked it or not. Because I don't know the severity of the virus. This is all I want. I'm not saying that the government doesn't have the right to ever shut down or to quarantine people if there's a massive reason to do it. For example, if a virus was released that was infecting 1 million people and it was killing 80% of them, clearly then we could see, okay, this requires some sort of government intervention, right? So I'm not saying, hey, I disagree if you're a terrible person if you think the government should step in. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the government at a bare minimum should at least be forced to answer a series of basic questions before they take these rights. Us as Americans at a bare minimum should ask our government these basic questions before we celebrate them taking our rights. And neither of those are happening. Right now we see, let me just give you the most basic question. What is the threshold for when the government can come in and have lockdowns and basically cause a shutdown and intentional collapse of the U.S. economy? What is the threshold? Tell me, you don't have to give me the exact number. If it was 59,000 would die, then we won't do it. But 60,000 we will. But give me a ballpark figure, right? Like people are rightfully saying in the chat right now, 600,000 people a year in some cases die of the flu. Is that enough to trigger it? Was H1N1 enough to trigger it? Is West Nile enough to trigger it? Is global warming enough to trigger it? Give me some idea of the threshold. If Trump would have came out and said, look, here's the deal. Our numbers estimate that right now, if we do nothing, potentially 80,000 people could die of this. And we've weighed the cost benefit. And we think that number, once you start to get over 50,000 people dead, we think that number is a reason for us to step in. We don't think that we saw that with H1N1, West Now, et cetera. So we would have never stepped in. I would feel a little more comfortable then. If they would say, look, we're only going to do this for 2 weeks. We're going to have some sort of countermeasures to make sure that this doesn't go on indefinitely. Then I would have felt a little more comfortable. As it is, I can honestly tell you, I've never been more fearful that our country will never be the same and will be destroyed than I am today. It is not because of a virus. It is because I'm watching Americans that I was so happy to say were waking up, understood the lies of the government to take our rights away with things like the Patriot Act, understood the lies with the foreign regime change wars, understood the lies with the bank bailouts, understood the lies of the media. To watch some of the most powerful advocates that called out those lies for years and years now, to celebrate, to say, yes, please strip me of my rights. How dare anyone question this? You're immoral. You want to see people die if you question this. That's what I'm seeing all over the place. And that, to me, lets me know. When you mark my words, every argument that's being made, well, we don't know exactly how many people this will kill, but the government needs to do something. Every single argument Bernie Sanders is writing down right now, and he's going to say in 2 years, yes, Donald Trump was exactly right. This is why we need to pass a Green New Deal, because the climate will kill everyone. And every single one of these Trump supporters that are supporting Trump's actions now will say, oh, no, that's different. Oh, really? The World Health Organization, the same numbers you're using now, the same agency, they're saying 250,000 people a year will die of climate change. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's your moral leg to stand on? You didn't ask questions now. If you don't, and I'm sorry, I'll finish up with this. If in a time of crisis, you're unwilling to unquestionably accept the government stripping you of your rights, then you don't deserve those rights. It's that simple.
Right. Well, and to what you were just saying about the government just answering some basic questions. And don't get me wrong, I really like Trump's style a lot of the time. I like how he goes after the media and stuff, and he's got legitimate cause to do that in a lot of cases. But if we were to ask these questions and we want serious responses to it, can we? I mean, does anybody here, even though we support Trump, do we really trust that Trump can do that? Can answer those questions in a good enough way that Americans feel good about what's happening? Dustin, what do you think?
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I agree with both what Rob said, and I've been watching some of Rob's latest videos over the last week. We've been producing a lot at Douglas Ducote's show, trying to cut through the lies, show the truth as much as we can, bring on experts from emergency management, border experts, to cover all the things that are going on. I want to make this